And Prana Pure, Nepshir, Pramat Bab, Notinotamin. Good to see you guys again. Last we stopped at here, but we also had a discussion about where to go. The Erek Shop Emov, and yeah, most likely this is not good. And Randy, you're leading discussion on this. Do you want to quickly correct it?
Sure. So
give us a quick background what we're doing here.
Uchemsh vinegar is singular here, and indefinite. So with definite, you would normally say, I think it would be in both dialects. It would be etik, etik, Uchemsh, etik, shop That would be if it's definite. Since it's indefinite, you would use the circumstantial, which is the only way I know how to use this kind of grammar with indefinite. So vinegar that you accept would be an ochemsh ek shopimoth. So ek shop can be like you receiving, like a subordinate clause, or it could just refer to a indefinite antecedent. So like a something which you do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. All right, we can jump to the rest. Let's start with so where's the last me and then David. Let's do David.
All right. This is going to be bound. Trying to think of more.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
More.
And then what is the pre-pronominal? So I have to fix.
So it could be like, you want to be pronominal?
Yeah, like I think it would be Almort.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right. Almort. And then the Al beaten. Umi. Tenno. Have we used beaten earlier in the hymn?
No.
Hymn, home. I'm probably just gonna go with homie and the pre-pronominal of home. So it'd probably be al home. Al homie?
Yeah, I'm looking through all the words where the English says beat on the dictionary, and like there's a lot of, it looks like there's a lot of different senses. There's like the one that means trample, like home, like you said. I would imagine that's more like you were stomping on something. I think I'm trying to think of like beat in the sense of like a human being like beating another human being.
Too bad we don't have the Sahidic shoche.
That one might work. Yeah, that one could work.
What about tenno? I mean, that's also trodden upon.
Yeah, it's like some of these might work. It's just I haven't like seen the example. Like if you look at like example sentences in Crum, it might say, for example, oh, it's like to pound flour or something. So it's like I'm not sure offhand like what applies to like ingredients or what applies to like a person.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Holmes is probably going to be fine for now, unless you can find something better.
There is one that it's not under beaten in the dictionary or beat. It's under like strike. So rochet would have been rochet with a chai. So ro omega chai tough. It's strike or be struck, but
Rocht.
yeah, because I know I've seen that like in Lambden, although that's Sahidic. So you could say like ow would it be for but then again it has the suffix pronoun, so I don't know if like you put
Racht. So it'd be probably rachti.
probably, yeah. Because there are some verbs, at least in Sahidic, where if the verb ends in a T, then you also have the first person singular. Like you wouldn't put two T's, like they just collapse into one. So like if you say like aufpocht or something, like I bow down or something, like you wouldn't say like I pachtet or something. You'd just say I pacht. This is the verb I would go with though, but how to do the suffix, I'm not quite sure. I would have to look like whether it's one or two T's. That's the only thing I wouldn't quite know how to do without like investigating it.
I mean, I find it in the lexicon, or P-lexicon. I found for rocht to be for the pre-pronominal rho alpha chai how. So imagine the pre-pronominal for the first person would be rachti, and change the tau to a t. It's evident on there.
Change the tau to a so rach. Oh, I see T. I see like rach. Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I was like looking at examples and I found out, oh, it should be this instead. That's what I would at least do at first. So that to me looks correct.
It's double H if you want to use Lexilogos. And it's rocht.
Okay, yeah, Racht makes more sense. How about Rachti? Do we have any verb that ends with a T that we know? Actually, it makes sense if it ends with a T. Actually, if it originally ends with a T, I think that's fine. I think yeah, it becomes an I. Didn't we have this? Can we have this rule written somewhere? Like, can we actually write it?
Yeah, that would be useful to
Because
consult.
we keep going. It's like Appendix 5.
I'm pretty sure it's Appendix 4, but
270. Says verb tables. We don't want that. We don't want that. Compound preposition. We don't want that. Here we go. Variations pre-nominal suffix. First person. We're saying there's an end with O takes a iota. Those which end with I takes a T. Ends with a T. It can either be left like that or it can take another T. So fit becomes fit. So because it ends with a T, you just add a T or just keep the T. I like adding a T for
fit. Racht. So under that understanding, it would just be racht. Oh, racht.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could.
And then for this section, it's going to be like the next section, like the lowest of the rejected. Would it be appropriate to say in the likeness of the lowest of the rejected? So like hen pireti into, and then I don't know what the lowest of rejected would be.
I found for rejected,
Jolt, yeah, I've seen
there's
that before.
Throat, but this one is Sahidic, and then checking for with crumbs here, it uses Greek adoki something, but then for one of the meaning is achao, and I did check achao,
Yeah, it's like useless.
and yes,
So I
it
I
says
don't
useless.
exactly remember where I looked. Or I think there's a discussion about one of the prepositions being used for like higher or like chief. Was it rai?
The hate thingy that we were just discussing.
I don't know if I don't think it was hate, but I'm sure it is rai. I know it's a Demotic thing, and I would be curious if there's an inverse where there would be
Right, yeah. Like
rai.
like yeah, I did put a add something on the Boharic channel I think a few days ago where I found that I saw the word so you have echre and echre in Boharic, like above and below, or like upper and lower, and then you apparently it sometimes occurs as a noun form, so you could just say like an echre, which means like the superiors, the ones that are above. And David's basically asking if there's like an opposite form, like an antonym where it means like the lowly. So like an echre. I'm not sure. It wouldn't surprise me if there was one though.
It'd probably require a bit of investigation because I know that does exist in Demotic, and I don't remember exactly where it was found. I think I might have just been in the dictionary or going through like the early first few lessons of Janet Johnson's.
Yeah, I'm looking up echre right now to see what I can find under from. As far as like the base rejected one, yeah, Jout is what I would go for Sadic or Boharic. I'm not sure. I mean, other than just like whatever Greek it shows. Yeah,
So yeah, twice, but I'm not sure if it's the same meaning because they all don't show a rejected person. They show like a terrible person, like reprobate.
Yeah.
And both is using in Buhari the Greek adokimos, and then the one time it's using achao. Achao means useless, which is not really rejected.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think achao is the best thing to use. But I'm
Yeah.
also not sure adokimos. It's like when I checked reprobate to get the exact meaning.
Yeah. I mean that in English, like I've really never heard that word like in speech. I've only like seen it like it seems like very Shakespearean. Like it's even for like something that's supposed to have like a religious or biblical flair to it. It just seems very. It just doesn't seem like a good fit.
But none of them is like rejected. So I'm wondering if even that's like an okay word. Like if anything, it could be like qualitative for the word reject.
Yeah,
Rather
like
than a low. This might be used for like a low, not even a low person. It's more like someone who's useless. But that's not what it's saying here.
yeah, like if I had to find a way to say it, I would, even if it has to be like a whole phrase and I can't do it in one word. I could say something like someone who has been thrown out or cast out or something like.
Yeah.
Like, although I mean, you can't. It's not a single word. It's a whole clunky phrase. But there's definitely a way you could try to say it. But for a single word, I'm not sure.
Also, I forgot how to do the. I know there's a construction for saying like the most or the highest or the est of a thing.
It's like higher than, or it's like the high. Also, funny thing, if you use tasteut for qualitative, it's actually adokimos in Greek, which is what Boharic used every time jot was used.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So that's interesting. So I feel tasteut
that could be a way to say it. For David's question about, I'm guessing you're referring to like superlative, like the est of something. Like you could say like, I think Mark was starting to say, you could say like if you want to say like the greatest or the oldest or the most important of something, you could say like Pinoch, see, like Pinoch and or into something like, and that just implies that it's like the most something. And there's probably other ways too. I can't remember them at the moment, but that seems to be the most common.
Would there be a way to do the lowest, or would a negative or a noun with a negative connotation, if you say the highest or the most rejected, imply lowest?
I think it would be like the low of, so it'd be like, obviously like niche, let's say the greatest of, I think it would be like pinish T A, and that's how we do it. I'm actually bad at this, but I think it's like the big of, and this was all the examples that I saw before in the book. The big of, and that means the biggest.
Yeah.
Which,
because you do see in the Bible in places, I think in both dialects, where it'll say like the highest and the low. It'll say like pinishti or I'm sorry, I said notch earlier. I meant nishti, but you could say like pinishti nem pi kuji, and it's like, oh, this applies to everybody from the great to the small or something, and it implies like it's for the most important people and like the least important people.
yes, so nishti erof, plus grand que lui, the bigger than him.
Yeah, and that's like specifically, the comparing part is like built into it too, because you have the which means like like the R in earlier Egyptian, like with respect to. So like just nishti it off by itself means like bigger than him or bigger than it.
Actually, that's actually a section of comparative. So ehote, so it's like more than, I think. And then here we're going to say greatest. So probably gonna be the low A, and then the word we're gonna get for rejected.
Like you could, I assume you could, whatever the word for rejected that you want to use is, like you want to say like the most rejected. Obviously, you could probably say something like the rejected, a one even maybe. Like if you just want to make it like really, unambiguous, you could say like like the rejected, compared to all one Neben. So like you're really saying like he's the most, or it's the most rejected person.
So it'd be like the low A ni rejected. Low life, low part. I mean, low life looks good. I'm not sure.
Low life commoner.
Tufdale looks like it could be a good one, because at least as a verb, I've seen that not uncommonly in Bohairic to mean like anything from like sending something back to like rejecting something, like turning somebody away. I'm still looking for echre, like as a noun, but I don't see anything so far. Like if you can't say like p echre, you probably have to say it as a phrase, like the one who. So you could say like pay etre, maybe something like that.
minus of that which is slow.
Also, it's usually used, yeah, as emprati a. So you can say kata preti, not pireti, kata preti or emprati n. That's usually the common way of writing it. I'm just gonna put it here for now. And there will be no khin.
Really, start with just a preposition of JT. What were we thinking about for low?
The lowest of the rejected. Kuji might work. I mean, that's like, I know that's more like smallest or like least of. It could work here. If not Kuji, maybe. Let's see, the most, the lowest. Like if you said at Jossi, like the most high, or like at Jossi, like who is like, what would be the inverse of a Jossi?
Oh, yes. I think Hive looks, it says like Hive low part or place. So maybe, actually, no, we don't want to like make up stuff. Hive.
Because I've seen that verb in Zedic too, but I haven't seen it a lot.
Shortness. Hive. That's like means a short person. Heavy. Heavy and where does it have? Be low or short. So you can have the have, but that's not empiric.
And then which word were you suggesting for rejected, Randy?
For rejected, tasteu, the qualitative of I think Mark had it up earlier, from tasto.
Yeah, tasteut, and it is using it's actually in qualitative, it's also the adokimos, which was used to replace jot. Also have this is Saidik, the Barakut Klai. Heavy.
For tasteut, I don't know if it needs like I don't know if you could just use it as is, or if it needs like an additional evol or something like that, like an additional adverb or preposition.
It will be ni have niyet tasteut.
Ni tasteut?
Niyet tasteut.
Yeah, like those who are yeah, you need the et before it, definitely.
Neyet, so ne with an eta at, and this is not Vilnor, so you don't need a theta. And you don't need the AO because you're doing, yes, the comparison.
Yeah.
We have a,
I don't remember how to spell tasteut.
Tasteut, I think it might need a theta.
I got you.
There we go.
Tasteut. So this is fine, and then the low and pretty in you probably want it singular, so like the low to the, just like we had here, big of where is nishti? Nishti erof, so nishti uncle we Niveenet Tasteot. Yeah, looks fine. So this doesn't look too Bukharic, which I know if it's in the book.
Kiva, well, what is it in?
That's not how Bukharic writes words.
Heavy.
Heavy, but for qualitative.
All right, yeah, and even in Crum yeah, I'm not sure how common a word this is because for under the main head word in Crum, like for Sahidic, Hiva, it says it only occurs once in Sahidic, and for heavy in Bohairic, it also says it occurs once. For the qualitative, Hava or
Habe.
I think it's just like Piva is like, but this is like Piva is like the low. It'll be like the low part.
yeah,
We don't want the low part. We want the guy.
right, yeah. Because I was so yeah. Both of those that I just said, the infinitive forms, it says those only appear once in either dialect, and then there's Hava, which is the qualitative for Sahidic, but then it doesn't list a qualitative for Bohairic at all. So it may not even exist as a qualitative in Bohairic. As far as like
Or no, it's a station of it.
as far as just its meaning in Sahidic, there is a sentence here that says, this is for Sahidic, it says, Pajisa min Hiva of chaos, so like the highest part and the lowest part of chaos. But then again, that's referring to like a place, not really a person, and that's Sahidic, so I don't think it can really work in Bohairic. I would probably better to look for a different word altogether, although I mean that would take me some time. I still don't know what the best thing to look for is. If I couldn't think of anything in the meantime, I would just use like a pikuji. I mean, it doesn't really sound so sufficient, but it's at least close. Like the lowest, the least of.
Yeah, I like that.
Because in general, it does have a lot of flexibility as like just like the antonym of nishti. You can use kuji for you can use it for discrete things. You can use it you can use it for like you can use it for things that you like items that you can count. You can use it like for like mass nouns. You know, like if you say like, oh, you have a little, like in English, if you want to say, oh, you have a little bread, you have a little milk or something, things that are liquids or you can't count into discrete pieces. You could use kuji for that. You could use kuji to mean like short in terms of time, like like, oh, I was only there for a little bit, or oh, soon this is going to happen. You can use kuji for that. So in my opinion, it has enough flexibility that I feel it can use it for this.
Yeah, I think it's not like literally the same, but we can give her like Pikuji and Chrei Chinnasneo, the small among my brethren, which would work.
Yeah.
So we can just use the same construction.
Pikuji and Chrei Chen.
In Niyat Tasteut. What is the verse? Least among. Who is the least among all of you? That's the one. That's what we need. Who is the least? Matthew.
The only other verb I can think of that has to do with like smallness or like being like a smaller than something or diminished is it looks like it's more svok. So svok, and then sovik would be the qualitative, like SV Omicron Kappa. To become, be small or few, or to make less.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've heard
we also have an example of the least. If you did one of the least, is like Nai Kuji. So we have this from Matthew 24:40. So that's an example of the least. And then let's try again. 9. So Kuji looks like good winner. 46. Who is little among all of you? Probably is Kuji. Okay. So that's one. And the kingdom of heaven. parentheses 519.
There's also Shem. I don't think you could use that. Like, I tend to like really only see that for people. Like when you say like Sheri Shem or something.
So the least in the kingdom of heaven is the little in the kingdom of heaven. So Pikuji, still good. Okay, I think all the example where the English uses least, it's always translate just to Kuji, just the little in the kingdom. And it'll be like Ikuji Khin or Khri Khin. So the small in. Yeah, actually, it's the one I wanted. Where's the one for John?
Especially for comparisons, it looks pretty common. Like even if there's situations where you could use different verbs like svok, like the to be diminished or to be like reduced or something. When you're making comparisons, like kuji seems the most common.
Yeah. Then another one, let's check. Yeah, but the lesser than he is in the kingdom of heaven, Pikuji, the Erof Khin. So Pikuji less than he. Yeah. So we can use Erof actually. So Khin something or Erof. All right, Pikuji works. Pikuji is the way to go. Pikuji Khin. We don't need a. Just Khin ni. Khinnet. Tastet. Khinnet tastet. All right, I think this is fine. I think. What do you guys think?
I like it. I like how it is. There is yet another word there. So there's eset, like when you say episet, like or whatever. I think it's the same in Boharic. Episet, like the opposite of or I think it's the opposite. Pretty much used as the opposite of epshoy. I don't know if it reversed to people. I usually see it used like spatially, like like upward or like to the highest part of the sky or like to the lowest part of the ground, or if you want to say like underground or something or below something else. I think I would still use Kuji though.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Okay, next one. Randy on the list.
Okay, so with whips, I have been scourged like the worst of criminals. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid using at least one Greek word here because the only Greek word that I can think of for whips is mastinks.
I will say I have actually tried looking up whip/scourge earlier before, and mastikos is the only thing I really found. It's only Greek.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So let's see, hen or hen. Now, would this be no article or would it be plural article? For now, I'm just gonna do it like literally. Then maybe I can change it. So henni, and it should be the same in Boharic. Musty. Mastinks. I think in Greek it doesn't have the N before the X, and then for whatever reason in Coptic they added that extra letter there. But as far as I know, that's how it's spelled. Mastinks. Scourge. A few possibilities here, I think. I mean, scourge is basically like like beaten or stricken. There is a word like you could use racht again, but since we already used that, maybe something different. There's
I think there are words for it. I'm sure we can find it.
Oh, shesh. I don't know if that's for Boharic though. I'll check.
And I guess
Uh,
rock might work because the mustics implies how you're being because scourging is only a beating with some form of whip.
yeah, I mean, at least for the English, that's correct.
I guess that's also true. It's maybe just for English.
It's basically ermasting
Yeah, they're
going.
using the literal Greek word for it.
So that's one. Actually, we can just search it.
And musting going, just because the word gets split.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one. What are the options we have?
You could, of course, say hiwi. It's a pretty common word already. It can mean like to strike something, to throw something. It could be like use it like as a compound, like use it in compound nouns a lot that have to do with like throwing or strike. And so like he oni is to stone, like as punishment.
Yeah, it's in all the New Testaments, like basically ermasting going, and like so far all the verbs so far. Yeah. They should scourge him. Shan ermasting going. That's just the word. And emof. So if you want to say, you'll be like emoi.
What do you guys think? You guys think I should be like more literal and just use the verb that means more like specifically whipping, or do you think I should be more creative and just use a Coptic word?
I think that even the word in Arabic here is the word for being whipped with a whip with a mustings.
Okay. Because there is already the noun mustinks here, which specifies how the beating is happening.
I think it's poetic. With whips, I was whipped.
Okay.
I think it's nicely poetic.
And the mustings. Oh, very mustings.
Let's see. The best word as far as the verb form would be, where is it? Would it be musti? Or no, that's mustigu is Sahidic. I have seen that too in Sahidic. Mustigu, mustigin, I guess.
Mastingoin. It's right here. Mastingoin. That's the verb used in all.
Okay.
Here of mastingoin.
All right, I'll go ahead and use that then. I'm just seeing what is in Greek. Musti go. Okay, so because there's that Omicron iota, which a lot of times it just gets simplified in Bahar to basically just another E sound. But here, in the original Greek word, the Omicron is separate from the omega after it, so it wouldn't be. So it would be just like you said, musty. It would be musty going. I think, yeah, like you said.
Musty double gabaoin.
So like not musty going, musty going. I think the accent is on the O part. So I'll go ahead and write that. Our musty going.
Double gamma.
Double gamma?
Yes. Yep. And then it uses emof after.
Okay. Where's the chinkum? Musty going emof. Are you sure? Does it has it as double gamma on the, because I don't.
Yes, here's double gamma. And then here it's obiak emoy.
Oh, emoy. Oh, that's right, emoy. I don't. Where did you see the double gamma form again? Because I only see it with one gamma.
Here. So if you open, sorry. So we like scourge. Any of them. So go acts. Mastingoin here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that then. Yeah, because I don't see it here on Remen Kemi. I see a different form of it that's not in Bohairic, Mastigu. I see that with double gamma, but if you have since you have a actual verse there with it, I'll just use double gamma. So with whips, I have been scourged like the worst of criminals. Okay, so yeah, so similar to what David had. So I guess Impreti, the worst. So let's see. Because this isn't really like lowest. It's like the most of something but bad. So the worst of criminals. For criminals, probably a Greek word too. Because any Coptic words.
Did you use ibene, like wretched?
Oh yeah, that might work. Yeah, like the
Ibene.
worst. Although in what exact form, I'm not sure. Like let's see.
We can use the evil, like the nipet ho. Like the pipet. You know what I'm talking about? Like something like pet ho,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I think that would be fine if it was like like the evil ones or the bad ones or something. But here it's like if you say that, then you're also saying criminal. So it's like it seems sort of redundant. And then it's also like a comparison too. Like you're trying to say like the ones who are the most bad of the criminals. Just for the time being, this
So
is the
both of these, like they found them who were bad at ho. I'm seeing it ho in Matthew, but also in dictionary. It's like both wicked and bad.
Yeah.
There's also Vaughn. I don't know what Vaughn is.
one is evil. It's like basically the antonym of although you don't see it in Coptic a lot. You see, there's a nufi, like when you say stinufi, like the basically good smelling like incense. So like but exactly how to conjugate it, you'd have to see, because you can't just like envon and just like throw it in to mean like something that's bad. You have to like use the specific forms that are listed.
So it's also using ho twice for bad, so even when compared to like naneo. So naneo is good, and then you think the opposite is bad. It's using niet ho as well. So that's another example of ho used not for evil but just for bad. So that's an example. And another one was here. Those who are bad, and those who are good. So it's comparing it with naneo, with nane, which is the word we would expect if it says good. So I think ho would be a good option.
Okay.
Oh, Vaughn, I remember it's like we have like Vaughn, like the bad season. It's in the
yeah. It has a lot of there's a lot of ways you can use it, especially in nouns, like to mean like the bad, like the bad equivalent of something that's otherwise good. So like
yes.
But here for so impurete and ne et ho, it's like the bad ones, and then like what would you say, the bad ones
So it would be like the bad one. Then I'm gonna guess.
Right, because it's singular.
Yeah. Ho, and then like hen or a. I guess I like how we use hen as like the small in the rejected, or it would be like the bad one in the rather than to the. I'm guessing. That's just a guess. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
Also, I like that you use khen in the beginning. I would have gone with nem, but khen is actually better.
All right, with whips, I don't think nem would work here, because when you say with whip, that's an instrumental sense. You can't say like, nem.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think of nem just being essentially a conjugation between two nouns or objects.
Yeah, it's like a coordinating conjunction word. You can't use it to mean like like, oh, I wrote it with a pen or something, you'd have to use chen for that. For the criminals part, I've seen listis before. I mean, like criminals or bandits or raiders. The closest any Coptic words that I can think of are like more like just like bandits or robbers. I don't know if it has really the same sense as criminals. If you find a better word though, you can. I'm happy to change it.
I don't think there's a word crime in the Bible. Oh, there's a word for crime.
Yeah, I mean Sony is the only one that could be used for like something like robber, or maybe Bosch.
There's no. There is here novi as crime.
Yeah, although it's more like sin. The only other thing I can think that's close to crime is Chi and I think it's Chi and John's in Bohairic, but that's it would be G and Chance in Saitic. That's like, from my impression, that's always seemed very vague. It's like just like an active wrongdoing. It can refer to anything from like physical assault to like something that's wrong or like iniquity or so I'm not really sure what the best Coptic equivalent is, but listis, or however it's pronounced, listis sounded fine to me.
I didn't find listis in the dictionary.
Let me install the Greek keyboard recently on my computer. Let me see what happens if I
it's not on Roman Kimi, I mean.
Right, at least with using the Coptic keyboard, but it may be like in the actual Greek script, it might show up. So let's least, where's it? Least. Okay, yeah. So it shows up under Sony. David brought that word up earlier. It looks like Sony really only has the sense of robber.
Omicron.
Oh.
Yeah. S-O.
Sony. Yes. And here's your list.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Robber. Yeah, just robber.
Do you know if there's a difference between Sinowi, Randy? Or have you not come across this word? Just because, I mean, it has
I think I have seen it. Yeah. Sorry, what about it?
Oh wait, no, that's the plural. Never mind. Oh, I'm dumb. This looks like the plural.
Amartya. Yeah, they're all.
Try using whatever the Bible app that you had, or whatever that app was that you can pull up on screen sometimes. Try searching listis on that. I'd be surprised if nothing comes up, because I have seen it even in like biblical stuff like Job and like probably some lives of saints. Interesting.
Here, let's try this app. It's not anywhere.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Criminal. And then novi is clearly just a sin. In Arabic, it does mention like a crime, but I'm not too sure. In this Arabic dictionary, it's mentioning it as a crime as well, but I'm not sure. It doesn't mention it here. See what crime says. Novi. Anything about crime? I mean, at novi is innocent, so sinless and innocent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sin. It's all against sin. Nothing about crime. Maybe the word crime didn't exist back then.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe they just used Refernavi, like sinner. So, I mean, on Refernavi, that might be an option.
Yeah, I think Refernovi sounds decent.
Okay, yeah, I can replace that then.
Knowing that it's mostly means sin.
Interesting.
Refer.
What
And it's
about
the only one we have crime actually uses Novi in the Bible.
so I did find bote in the Coptic dictionary online, and it does have crime, and in the lexicon,
What's
You
the
said
word?
Voti with Omicron?
yeah, Omicron or bote.
I mean, that's like abomination.
Abomination, crime, punishment. We just want a word for crime.
I think we might have used that before. If not in this text, it sounds like something we've used before.
We use Voti for detestable things. So like abomination.
What sins or things which are,
I think I would go with probably ni refernovi. Because if we want to explain, it'd be like the worst of the criminals, not worst of some criminals.
all right. Sounds good to me.
Uzo, you've been quiet. Can you do the next one in 6 minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like we meant to go, although we don't have a lot of time. I'm sure we can come up with something.
So we've got, I think I'm going to do the sort of Deru for all of this,
Eh,
and well, Edvetic.
we want to say y'all because of y'all.
Oh, okay. So it would then just be Etve. Oh, this has the weird one, Kenu or
Yes.
something
Kenu, yeah, with theta.
with a theta.
And yeah, exactly. Deru we can't use by itself. You'd have to have something. I think the thing that fits best and that you would see most commonly is nai. Or no,
So would I say nine Eteru or just Naiteru?
nai deru.
I think Naitero. Yeah. I've also seen Pterf, like the all, like all of it.
All of it.
But so we can, I guess we can, I don't know if you can use Ptero, I'm not sure. So I think Naitero is good or Pterf, but I would have gone with Naitero. There's so
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah.
Naitero.
Pterif you could probably use. Probably you would just structure it a little bit differently because usually when Pterif is used, other than just meaning like in especially Gnostic text, it means like the universe or like the Lord who created everything. Unless it's like that kind of use, you can use it like I think adverbally, like if you want to say like, oh, he didn't do this at all. That's like in a negative sense, or like he did this completely or entirely. You could say like Pterif. Here I would go with Naideru though, just like you have it.
So that you may be joyful. So this one I'm thinking is going to be the sort of Dre form.
Actually, I have a way we can make this fancy. Sorry. You know how we
No, no
we
worries.
use focalized tense to make the sentence exactly? It's like I came for you, and but if you do it in focalized, it would be because of you, I came.
Yeah.
So can we probably use the focalized tense in here? I don't know how, but I'm thinking. So if I want to say this is for you, I think this is good. And then, so will not because of you. I don't because I'm not sure. I'm just thinking just because see because of is how we say the use the focalized. So
Right,
just like
yeah.
my mind, but I'm not sure how they do it.
Yeah, because there's also I think this would look better with a copula, so net, because it's like saying like all of this is because of y'all. So like I would definitely put a net in there, either between the deru and the etfe, or after the. I think I would say nai deru ne.
So that's
and then etve tenu, and we want a vocalized. So well, let me see what.
And focalize.
So that you may. Would that be a future one, future vocalized, or
I think just a regular focalized. I'm guessing.
okay? So areten.
Yeah,
Focalization. It will be are.
Areten.
No, I think it would be like are naitero.
yeah, that's what I was thinking along the lines of like in Saitic would be era naiteru, but with ne, I'm not sure if that's yeah.
So right at the start, an are naiteru.
Can you use can you even do that? Can you use are
Yeah.
with ne?
You can, but I think I'm pretty sure. But the only thing is like seeing it like are naiteru ne. That would be like like I'm not sure if you can use it like with pe te ne. It almost seems like something you would use like if there was an actual verb there, not just ne. So yeah, I'm hesitant on this one. I don't really know how I would do it. Like if it were up to me and I didn't know the proper way, I would probably just avoid it altogether. But if I saw examples of the kind of pattern I was looking for, like elsewhere, then I would be more comfortable using it.
But how would you say? Maybe we use shopi. I don't know. I'm just guessing. How would you use it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like it is because of you that these things happen. Naideru. Yeah, like maybe instead of ne, you could say shop, like the qualitative of shopi. That's a possibility.
Yeah, are because are changes the verb, so we can't. This is not a verb. Okay, it's time to go. Let's pick this up next time. See you guys.
Right. See you all.
Ciao.
Bye.